I'm Colin.
I am David.
I'm Bradley.
And this is Overarching, a podcast about the St. Louis Blues.
This is now a St. Louis Blues podcast.
But more on that later.
We are Spittin' Chicklets. That's a podcast that you two have never heard of. Am I right?
Sure, I've heard the term.
Oh, have you? Oh, okay.
I've heard
but
of,
it's not
I've
about
heard
the
of
Blues.
the gum.
No, yeah. What does the gum look like?
Little pillows.
Chiclets.
Little
tabs.
square white things.
That's why
Yeah.
it's called Spittin' Chicklets teeth.
Yes, I know. I said I get.
Oh.
I was saying I get the reference.
I thought
was
it
trying
was
to
the
walk
puck in the face.
Colin
I thought it was-
into the reference.
I thought it was tonsil stone.
Bradley and Colin, specifically Colin, are learning about hockey right now.
I
No,
said
that
I
makes
got
sense.
the reference.
I said specifically Colin.
Spittin' Chicklets.
Yeah,
Because teeth.
Because teeth.
This podcast is sponsored by First Bank. First Bank, more on them
Also a
later.
sponsor of the St. Louis Blues.
Look at that.
Also a sponsor of the same. Whenever they do the lookalikes, they go pretty viral. Actually,
Oh, yeah,
they're
the
really
lookalikes
good
are
at
great.
it. They do really well. That's First Bank. First Bank sponsors that segment.
That's great.
That's
That
the
is
First
the-
Bank lookalike.
And
contest.
the difference between First Bank sponsorship of that and their sponsorship of us is that we are specifically
their dollar
sponsored
goes
by
way further here.
The real JC.
John Charlton.
Yes.
Mortgage lender. Dude will
real
get you
JC?
money to buy a house if that's possible.
More on John Charlton and First Bank later. But for
Later.
now,
Let's say the pledge.
Say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to Gregory FX Daly, the one to whom we owe it all, and to our taxes, which we prefer to be spent on constructing a giant dome over the city of St. Louis. Not a sudden and invisible, semi-permeable, dome-shaped barrier of unknown origin like in some other towns. A real, respectable dome that would make any bloodthirsty owner of a professional sports team hounding for their third stadium in 10 years swoon with envy. I mean, we have an arch. What's a dome other than a three-dimensional arch? Imagine the Climatron, but like really big. Imagine Biodome, but with less Pauly Shore. Imagine Dome. But overarching, everyone asks, why want dome when have sky? Sky have bird, sky have blue, sky have pretty cloud. Well, listen up, bozo, cause I'm gonna tell it like it is. Sky bad, sky have sun, and sun hot, way hot. And dome will have air conditioning, sweet, cool, crisp AC, brought to you by all your favorites. Vit Heating and Cooling, Hoffman Brothers, Dole, Vogel, or whichever one will be willing to sponsor this podcast. You know how all these companies came together during World War II to make like bullets and shit? Like that, but for climate control. If we can do it for the military-industrial complex, we can do it for Dome. 1% to the god of yellow envelopes ignored by all. Hot take, literally.
Because of all the heat outside.
Correct.
yeah, that's how. Yep.
HVAC repair
Uh-huh.
during summer and winter should be a public service.
I mean, hotter take,
What?
HVAC and air and heating and cooling should be a public service.
Also, yes, but have you ever done HVAC repair
Well,
in the middle of
thing.
summer?
Here's the thing. A public service
Like,
doesn't mean it's
A
voluntary.
lot of AC condensers.
We're not saying that people should volunteer.
and units are in attic spaces,
Cool.
so it can get to not cool. It can get to like 130 degrees in people's attics.
Is what you're saying an argument
And, like-
against why it should be a
No, I'm
public
just
service?
saying. No, I'm saying HVAC people and
Oh, they work
contractors,
real hard.
I respect the hell out of them.
Hell
is what
yeah.
I'm saying.
And I'm just saying that, especially in the hot months, that should be actually something that our tax money goes to, is subsidizing the people who can't afford to.
a socialist for my.
Yeah,
Colin,
suffer and die.
Colin, did you have more to expand on that?
No.
Because here's the thing. Because if you think about it, when we talk about basic human needs that we learned in elementary school,
War.
food, water, and shelter.
No.
What?
war.
Yeah, war.
Oh, yes. Basic human needs. War.
And
You know that famous song? What is it good for? Absolutely everything.
everything.
So yes, the basic human needs are war,
What else?
shareholder profits.
Yeah. What else do we get? What else do people get for free that aren't us?
Peeps.
Nope, those cost money.
Bombs.
That's war.
Oh, sure. Well, sometimes it's not.
So that's right.
Sometimes it's not.
Yeah, we're not at war. We're just bombing facilities. To quote every single comedian from late night television last night, honey, I'm not cheating on you with Shelley. I'm just cheating on you with parts of Shelley.
That's very clean.
It's a good joke.
That's a clean joke.
Yeah. But yeah, if you are out there, reasonable person who believes in personal responsibility and doesn't want to think of themselves as a socialist, pause for a moment. Basic human needs for survival: food, water, clothing, shelter. Like, we spend so much shit as a society on so much shit.
It's a good St. Louis podcast.
And yeah.
St. Louis is a place that deserves things.
Yes. And so, like, things cost money anyway.
What if you shut up and I bomb the hell out of you? What if that? Then you won't need a home.
Or what if we just
It's free.
Or
you.
what if we communally nationalized all public services?
Well, that would take a lot, wouldn't it?
It would take a lot of political will.
It seems it takes a lot of work.
Hyper local governance is a good thing too.
And if we did something like that locally, like making the deputizing the HVAC people to be run by the city and paid for by the taxes,
by the city,
then we could be a shining light of an example of the coolest city in the country.
There you go. You brought it home. I have something I'd like to share with you guys. It's not about heating and cooling. Full disclosure, I sent this to you guys the other day, but I still don't think you have any idea what it's about. And I'd like us to talk about it.
That makes me scared.
And guess on air.
Okay.
So I was at City Hall the other day, and they were doing like a local vendor consortium.
Oh, yes.
A little local vendor consortium.
Yeah, I'm very confused about this.
In the lobby, which was very cool. And people were there giving out all sorts of different products.
What were some examples?
There was like people selling jewelry, people selling clothes, different, it was like a little farmer's market.
Yeah.
It was maybe like 8 or 9 little tables, all local vendors.
Yes.
And one caught my eye, and I walked over and tried some stuff, and it was really wonderful. And I picked up a flyer of theirs because I wanted to remember the name of the company.
Nice.
And it was only when I left that I started to read the flyer. And gentlemen, I'm bringing this to you today because I would like you to guess what this company was selling.
Are we getting a dramatic reading or
we are getting
reading?
a dramatic reading.
I'm so excited for this.
Based on the flyer, please tell me what this company is selling. And I do want to preface this by saying this is a black-owned business, and this story does end with a full-throated endorsement of the product. But I think we can all agree that this is a...
That we're white and we
That
have
this
no idea
this
what we're
is a
talking about?
lot.
Is that this scenario? Okay.
So what is this company selling? 3, 2, 1. As a young girl growing up with severe cramps, I decided I never wanted to have children. In high school, due to excruciating pain, I was sent home in a cab. The smell of food would make me nauseous, and yes, I would throw up. Tears would flow like water from a faucet. Month after month was horrible. I'd say, Lord, why me? Up until then, I was told it'd be very difficult for me to have children. I wanted children. Now I'm like, wait a minute. I changed my mind. My niece was born a 3-pound preemie in 2004, and going to see her every night really did something to my spirit. Something touched me. No! God touched me and gave me the desire to want children, and that desire has birthed ministry and a business. This business. Which, like, good for you. Amazing story. It has been a challenging journey, but the love from God and my husband with my family and friends has been an absolute blessing. My faith has grown. My relationship with God has grown. I've even grown as a person. Faith without works is dead. I promise. I may not know how many weeks or months I am, but I am pregnant. This is my/our season. God said it. And without doubt, we believe it. Hallelujah, God has spoken, so let the church say amen. Praise break.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Yeah, so selling the desire.
That got me hyped.
The desire.
That's a whole sermon.
The renewed desire to have children birthed the business.
Correct.
And this person's now pregnant too.
Yeah, they grew up with feminine issues, were told that they couldn't have children, and now had children, or at the time of printing was pregnant.
Yeah.
And that birthed ministry and business.
Yeah.
This is the business in question. Praise break. What are they selling, David?
They're pocket Bibles.
They're selling like traditional herbal remedies.
No, I got it. That could be good.
So
It's a pocket Bible, but it comes with bubbles.
here's a hint.
I feel like
You're not even close.
What do you mean? Not even like neither of us?
Are they? Is the is it a?
It has nothing.
Is it a surrogate service?
It has nothing to do with Bibles. It has nothing to do with children. It might have to do with herbs.
Oh, it's
Is it the marijuana?
it's the Jesus lettuce. I was gonna say it's not the devil's lettuce.
No,
it's
but
the
it is
Jesus-
green.
What? Is it about Christmas trees? Or
Nope.
is she selling
Swiss
Christmas
chard?
trees?
I don't know what that is.
It's
Swiss
green.
chard,
Verdigris?
like
No.
kale.
Nope.
We're on the right path.
Right path. It's food.
Brussels sprouts,
Green
Green
beans.
food.
food.
Green
Kiwi.
beans.
Nope. What?
green beans,
Nope.
Green
Peas.
food. Green eggs and ham.
green eggs.
Would be close if the eggs were in a bar.
What? Peanuts. Nuts.
Pickle.
Green nuts.
Pickles. Twist my pickle and more.
Hold on. There's a lot of like interesting like studies out there about pickles and like pregnancy.
And Jesus?
No, and pregnancy.
and
No
this-
way.
Yeah.
But pregnancy crave like pickles are a classic
Cr-
pregnancy
classic
craving.
pregnancy
Classic
craving.
pregnancy
So there is a
craving.
link. There is a link.
We found it.
Did you try this pickle?
I did. And you know what?
It made
It's
you
bomb
see
as
God.
hell.
You
It made me see God.
You said, well, twist my pickle. That's a hell of a deal.
Let's go.
It's again, like lightly. I want to acknowledge that we are lightly making fun of a black-owned business, but full-throated endorsement of the product. Twist my pickle made me see God. The go get them.
That's
Buy out
amazing.
their stock. It was so good. Yes.
If pregnancy makes you see God and pickles, and then that pickle also makes you see God, go buy it.
Well, you know, pickles can make
Well,
you
and these
pregnant
pickles
too.
ministered to you, clearly.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Are
Christian,
you,
but like
are you guys trying to have children?
trying to get pickles. I'll tell you that much.
There you go.
Let's come in here with a little bassinet. or like a little,
Hell
little-
yeah.
little-
That should be
a
her branding.
A papoose.
Her branding should be a pickle in like a
like a-
bassinet.
Swaddling
A
cloth.
swaddled a pickle.
A swaddle pickle.
Oh my God! Yeah, twist my pickle.
The name of the company is Twist My Pickle.
Twist my pickle and more. Like
It's fantastic.
and more than pickles,
I
or
love
twist
this.
more than my pickle.
Twist my pickle, please. Listen. If the product is good,
It is.
the story makes your product even better.
It does.
If the product is
We love a lore dump.
really rough, then the story is awful. Like that's how that works. I'm not saying this story. I'm just
Sure.
saying stories in general. Your product matters the most. And in this case, like it could have gone either direction, and that story is awesome.
Well, it's like
because the
you
product
were
rules.
in marketing forever. Like, you know,
Yeah,
what's
still
the
am,
most
kinda.
important thing about a good marketing strategy? telling a story.
I was gonna say the people making it, but
That's what you do,
Yes.
right? Is like,
You tell that story.
telling the story.
Yes.
And it's like you can tell a story through a good logo. Here's a nice segue to what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But like you can also tell a story through just friggin' telling a story.
Yes.
And true real congratulations to the people over at Twist My Pickle for being
to go,
pregnant
Twist My
and for
Pickle.
having kids and for having a successful business that's
What
obviously
flavor?
been
What
around
flavor
for
of pickle did you try?
It is, I think, just the normal one, but they had a bunch of different flavors. It is real good. Good pickles.
We love it. Nice.
should we talk about one of the most recognizable companies?
Yeah.
In
So
St.
yeah, so
Louis?
telling a
this
story
is-
through just the logo.
Yeah, this is at the time of recording. David was just hanging out at what is it? The House of Blues? Is that where you were?
The House of the Blues. The House of the
Oh.
Blues. Went there this morning. Grabbed these pieces because the Blues have rebranded. We could call it a rebrand.
Boo! Change is bad, David.
Change is terrible, but
I bet it's ugly.
Let's
I bet
take
it's
a,
not
Let's
cool.
take a look. This is the Blue Note since 1997-1998
That's
season.
the good one.
This
That's the
is-
original good one that's been there forever.
This has
Yeah,
been here for
no-
25 seasons
and has never changed.
26
Yeah, the
25
Blues
seasons.
have been around
26
since
seasons.
when?
We've been around since 1967.
And that was always
that's
it.
always the logo. It's never changed.
That's not correct.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. Change is bad.
Anyways, this is the new logo.
Boo.
The new primary logo,
Boo.
that is. So we're going to have
it's like
we're going to have a
kinda
retirement ceremony.
Okay.
We're going to hang up the tarp in the rafter.
Okay.
good.
Oh wait, what? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh wait, what am I doing? Dun, 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 dun,
Oh, yeah, that
dun,
one.
dun.
Hold on, I'll sing it because I'm in the mic.
Okay, you go.
I'll do it in a minor key.
We're hanging it up with HDMI cables. Farewell, Chris Pronger days.
It's hard to do
Farewell
in a minor key.
to the David Mack estates.
Farewell.
Farewell to the Troy Brower days.
Are the Oshios still in the building?
Farewell to the Oshios days.
Saints
There we go.
Farewell to the Oshio. Oh, you're recording. Farewell to the Oshio days. Farewell to the Barrett Jackman days.
I want to be.
Who else should I say?
in that number.
Farewell to technically, for a little bit, Al McGinnis days. Farewell to, well, truly farewell to Dimitri. Pablo Dimitri. R.I.P. My dad. Farewell to probably a little bit of Tony. No, not like Tony Twist, but farewell to one of the most recognizable
logos
So
in
we,
all of sports. And
have-
hello to basically the same thing, but a little better.
But
in my
it's-
I
St. Louis Baby Blues.
I like the bold yellow. I like that they got rid of the white. I feel like it's very classic. Like you can't really say anything bad about that. You can't. But it is
actually,
the dark. It is the dark navy. It is the very dark navy on the royal blue.
the Dark Navy.
And
which shouldn't work. But
it
it does.
shouldn't work, but it does.
Yeah.
And,
And hockey just has that like real like the long jersey
yeah.
does make it so you can make the bottom part of the jersey
A thing.
a thing. Yeah, like I mean the best Blues jersey ever still to this day has the red on the bottom.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that.
I'm a big
but
fan of
these, I think we can't get the away kits yet. We can't get the kits in general yet. The new sweaters because they haven't been put out for production.
Mm-hmm.
But the white away sweater is
It's fire.
I contend that the home blue diagonal staff on the bottom of the jersey with the red on the bottom is the greatest hockey sweater of all time. And this white one is up there for me. Like the red Chicago Blackhawks jersey, as much as I hate them, is
It's fire.
iconic
Yeah.
and absolutely silly. You've got
I like the new Panthers kits too are really nice.
That logo, that crest is.
I like the crest.
I like the old crest with the jumping.
Sure.
Panther.
Yeah, I think
there's
the new
action in it. I like that.
I've never been a minimalism hater, but like it feels like that's on the way out, which is I think a good thing. I love club logos are like city seals, where it's like like club sports.
It is very
it
football.
Should feel a little complicated.
It is very soccer.
Soccer, yeah.
It is very football club.
And basketball is kind of moving in that direction too slowly, which is not kind of neat.
We're trying to do like the whole European vibe thing. But the Blues, here's the things. The Blues have, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
They have one of the most iconic brands in all of sports, period. And I think most people would agree with me in that. And now...
Yeah.
Let's talk about these alternate logos.
Well, no. First, let me talk about for those who aren't sold on this.
Yeah.
Like David ran in here this morning right before we were supposed to start filming and said, "Blah blah blah, I gotta go down blah."
That's a really good impression.
I said, "Okay, go take care of yourself." He said, "Don't worry, I'll bring you a hat." I'm like, "Great,
at 9 o'clock
lovely."
in the morning.
But then I looked at the announcements and stuff, and as someone who like has been to a couple Blues games, has enjoyed that experience, and doesn't follow sports closely but enjoys watching games when they're presented to me. My first response, I'm
going to take a video of your hat for like our close-up purposes and just to show this logo too.
Yeah, and get that in the shot of where I'm talking to.
Yeah. Here, let me put this right in front of your face.
Perfect.
Is that good?
I can still see you in the phone.
So my first response was, cool, that looks good. And then well, wait, what's the differences? Because I was like, having not seen it side by side and not looked at the logo recently, I was like, well, what's the difference? And then I looked at them side by side. I'm like, ooh. So one, it looks fine on its own, the new one. But then looking side by side, it's like, well, one, the note head of the Blue Note in the new logo is much more proportionate to an actual note head on a staff. Like, this guy is the old one is some kind of interpretation. So good on you for being a little more accurate. Two,
this is the very easy piano version where the the staff is extremely wide.
Two, looking back, going from, I found the side by side, the original logo was much closer to this new one.
It is
with the proportionate note head, etc. And then, but looking at it all going here, the undisputable fact, like you said, most recognizable. They don't need to change it up, whatever, in a crazy way. But looking at all the historical versions of the Blue Note and the Wings, to this one, undeniably, this is the fastest Blue Note of them all.
It is the fastest. It's what matters the most. This team does have Jordan Kyrou, the fastest skater in the NHL at one point.
And now their jerseys are going to be that much faster.
Yeah.
Give them that edge.
It is a 64th note.
Well, that's the thing about I have looked into that. I want there to be a connection. I don't know this.
Well, there's not a connection because it's a hanging
Blues.
flag.
Well, when was St. Louis founded?
Is it 1764?
Yes.
1764.
I think it's just
I know that,
happenstance. I think it should honestly be 100.
I want that to be the case, though. Don't you? You want
Sure.
somebody to be like, we should do a 64th note, because that's how they talked in 1967.
What it is actually the top line is the top line of a staff, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's the fifth one's
it is. It's supposed that is the notation. So it is a staff. That is
and that
intentional.
one I feel like I've never really perceived it until now.
The staff,
just because it's also only 4 lines.
Well, this is supposed to be the 5th.
Yeah, it's implied, but I feel I don't know. I never got that it was supposed to be a staff until.
If you added, I've seen somebody mix it up a little bit and throw in the 5th.
I'm sure it unbalances
staff. It really unbalances.
I'm sure that's why they didn't do it. I get it,
and it makes it too thick.
This goes. This goes with a good point.
It doesn't look like a wing anymore.
This goes with a point that I wanted to make about logos in general. But when I heard that the Blues were rebranding all of an hour ago, when David was in a tizzy, I got immediately worried, because companies, full stop, when they're oh, we're going to do a music logo, historically suck at doing that. every musician out there knows the cringe of going to like Home Goods or wherever and seeing some sort of kitsch item that's like, oh, here's some notes, or like a wedding.
Yeah.
A wedding. Jeez, man, it's the most beautiful day of your whole life. You're marrying the love of your life. Excuse me, I'm throwing up because of this. And you have some sort of like, oh, it's our song. It's always wrong. It always makes no sense.
Yeah.
BS.
This is so.
I hate it.
So poignant.
The blues could mess it up.
Right. There is a massive chance for them to make this
it's like
bad.
it's right there. You need to hire a music consultant for it. And like the two of us have what I feel are alternate logos. The new rebrand is solid.
These
if nothing else other than the fact that my favorite Cardinals jersey is the baby blue one.
Sure.
And now we get to experience
this
all the time.
This isn't fully baby blue.
Whatever.
This is getting close to it. This isn't even
What
like
kind of blue is it, David?
It's not. It's
you want
not
to
even
split
like
blues?
It's not even
It's
like the baby
toddler
blue
blue.
of the
It's toddler
Chargers.
blue. It's adolescent
No,
blue.
it's getting towards the
Terrible Twos blues.
Yeah, sure, a little bit.
Terrible blues.
But it's darker than a baby blue.
What do they call it in
It's
the
not
brand
full-
language? What do they call it in the brand
Well, you
language?
want me
What's
to-
my
do you want me to-
brand?
If they don't call it blues blue,
You want me to pull it up? Here, I'll
gonna-
do it for you. So I'm getting the PR pressure right now. Here we go. So, from the St. Louis Blues, they unveil new primary uniforms inspired by the previous Heritage and Winter Classic jerseys. Okay.
Oh, it's
so,
like ice blue.
yes. So, new primary colors.
Even
This is
though
what
ice
the
is
team. This is what the
not
team
blue.
says in the press release. The Blues are officially returning to their original palette for their primary
Oh.
colors. The classic blue and yellow, first worn in 1967, but changed just a hair to improve the color consistency between the fabrics on the uniforms. It needs to like just be a little bit more consistent. That's a whole printing is a whole thing. Like you need to change the color. While royal blue has served as the team's primary color since '84, we've brought back this bolder, more vibrant look to energize the brand while honoring our history. We do not have an official color name.
Well, that's stupid because that logo never existed before today, and it's bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We're steel manning all the folks who hate change.
Yeah.
So, the modernized version of this iconic blue note includes a move from 3 colors to 2. The beige was removed from the previous heritage style note that we had for the previous Winter Classic. Thicker blue and thicker yellow key lines and a slight reshaping of the note. The recalibrated blue note is featured on the new home and away jerseys and other
Cool.
pieces.
People can read this. We wanted to know the name of the colors. We don't know what the name of the colors.
Uh,
That's
so
fine.
let's just say, hey, let's do.
You know what color it is? Blue.
Can we get like a Pantone color? St. Louis Blues organization.
It's blue.
Sure, it's blue.
What's the name of the team? St. Louis Blue.
St. Louis Blue.
One singular blue.
we could-
But
we
all
could
this
go
to say,
see
All
Blue?
this to say,
hold on. I was making a point. The other alternate
Yar.
is, dare I say, if the president can say it, so can I on the air, fucking iconic. Like, so, and I'll tell you why. David told me to save it for the show, and I'm gonna say it. It's time for our hot news segment, music theory. Blow the VFX budget.
this
That logo's so good.
treble clef STL might be one of the greatest sports logos. I'm gonna say it,
It's sick.
of all time.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
hear
really.
Colin's deep analysis.
And
as to
I'll go into mine a little later. Colin, you go. But I am going to have a talking point about this later.
No, so it's a great logo. Just full stop. If you know nothing about music, it's great.
Oh, you have the shirt?
You
talk.
It obeys all the things that like a flag is supposed to be, right? Like a child can draw it from memory. It's recognizable at a distance. It also like pays homage to get in on the shirt because you can see it. Oh wow. Yeah, and that's like it's basically a single line, and it Yeah, no, it's freaking great.
It's-
But here's
they
the
debuted
music.
this- they debuted this last year
Oh, I didn't know that.
during the Winter Classic.
Oh, cool.
And so they wore it on their
I see.
helmets
That's
as
sick.
kind of an alternate, and everybody around the league was like, "I'm sorry, what is that?"
What? I mean, because it pays homage to like the old fire logo that like the Cardinals have, and
It is.
like blah blah blah. But here's what I like the most about it.
Yeah.
Music theory, right?
It's
So
great.
the treble clef is just a nickname. It's not really called the treble clef.
Yeah, it's a nickname because it keeps getting in so much trouble.
LOL.
Shut up, Megan Trainor. It's called the G clef because
Because it moves in silence like lasagna?
Bradley.
Shut up. Who's that?
Did you
I-
just get no? Who said that first? Who said that first?
I forget who.
It's not a Bradley Rolfe original.
No,
right?
no. No, it's a real
I was gonna
poet.
say,
I was like,
if
you need to-
that's
you
a
need to
Bradley
be-
Rolfe original.
No.
That
I
is
think
amazing.
I think it might be Ice Cube or Ice T or something, but like moves in silence like G's in lasagna.
Amazing.
Real G's move in silence like
Real G's move in silence like lasagna.
It's
There
called
it
the
is.
G clef because the little swoopy,
Yeah.
the little
The G.
goes around the line that is G.
It's on your head right now.
Yeah. So like wherever the little
It's a G.
guy, the
It's a G.
little is G.
Yeah.
So
So that's where it goes. It goes around G.
Yes.
It crosses.
like
It crosses the
yeah.
line at G.
Yeah, like the line that goes through the swoopy
Oh.
right here is G.
I feel like I've heard this before.
And like for F,
my music theory
like for
course in
bass clef
college.
is F clef because the two little dots, little sad face with the little two eyeballs that's leaning sideways, like
Yeah.
that goes around F.
Oh, that's right.
So, but this is G. Here's the
right.
thing: G is the second line up from the bottom. E G. That logo, the L, is E, like is the first line, and the swoopy is placed appropriately where G would be. Someone thought about that.
nice.
They called a musician.
Lil Wayne is who said that.
That tracks.
Thank you, Lil Wayne.
Thank you, Lil Wayne.
They hired local, maybe not, I don't know, local, but they hired a musician to consult on that for sure.
I appreciate the consistency of the lines here, like how this line, they are all proportionate to each other.
Mm-hmm.
They could have messed those up real bad.
Well, that also like it brings like people just drawing that like in their notebooks or getting a tattoo or whatever, like a single line drawing like that. The consistency of the line makes it so much easier to just like draw with a single pen stroke as opposed to having to like, be a good artist. Like you could learn to draw that in a minute.
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's instantly recognizable.
Yeah, it's so
Instantly.
good.
So
And it's so obviously STL too. Like it's not oblique in some weird way. It's not strange to look at.
I'm just realizing this by looking at this like in depth now, more like up close. Do you know the St. Louis Chess Association logo?
Yeah.
No.
I feel it looks kind of similar.
Oh no, did they do a Cleveland Guardians?
I don't know. But I'm just now like thinking about this. The St. Louis Chess logo. Bradley, can you pull it up?
Yeah.
But it is an STL.
Oh, it's not crazy.
Oh, I'm not too far off.
Show it to me.
I'm not too far off. It is.
Oh, but it has the C's,
it has the
on, the
C's on the
side.
side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not really
Yeah.
that similar.
But
Yeah.
it's the T's
I was
crossing
gonna
right
say
there.
the other thing.
Well,
it
but
made,
so
the
does
other,
the
it's an
Cardinals.
STL.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
mean,
understand.
the other thing.
I
The
understand.
other thing that it made my brain think about, which is this is closer to the chess thing than it is to the St. Louis Blues, but the Yves Saint Laurent logo.
Yves Saint Laurent.
Yeah.
Bradley saying Yves Saint Laurent was not a thing I had on my.
I worked at the Coach store. For
I
a
know
month.
you worked at the Coach store.
You worked at the Coach store.
Bradley used to work at Coach for Coach. Can I
It's a whole
talk?
thing.
Okay.
I only worked at premium economy.
Hey, should we? Okay. St. Louis Blues organization, and to our fans, if we have any.
Yeah.
Some of you have said you're a fan, but I don't know how many there are. If this video gets over 100,000 views, and the St. Louis Blues comment on our video, hey, like, or whatever they want, like, you should do it, or sup, sir, whatever they comment, I only have one tattoo.
And it's for Portland.
This is a tattoo after my grandma passed. She had a lot of the Cairo in her house. She was Catholic, like vehemently Catholic. Love that woman.
How Catholic was she?
She was a 5'10" Italian woman.
Did she shit in the woods?
Excuse me. She was a 4'10" Italian woman. Why did I say 5'10"?
Yeah, some reason the taller makes her less Catholic.
Made it weird. Yeah, 4'10" Italian lady from the north side of Chicago. It's the Cairo. It's like the earliest symbols of Jesus.
Yeah, Remigio.
Cairo.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. It's the only one I have, and I'm not a huge not a huge tattoo person.
Because it's a sin against God.
Because it's a sin against God.
Because your body's a temple.
Your body's a temple, so decorate it.
This is not going to be like a 90-second clip. If this video gets 100,000 views and the St. Louis Blues comment on it, and I will get this logo tattooed on this arm.
And if it gets 500,000 views, get it on his butt.
If the Blues win the Stanley Cup this year, I'll do it at the end of the year. If no matter what, I'll do it here. But if they win,
they win the Stanley
Cup.
Cup.
The Stanley Cup. You get to choose where it's at, but not the face or the.
Butt's good.
Comment.
But apparently,
comment what tattoo you want David to get if they win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, that's a good point. But oh God. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Hey man,
I have one tattoo.
This is a social media promise made now. You can always chicken out.
No, I feel like I need to. We'll just do what happens, Yunya, if they win the Stanley Cup? What do I do? I should do something.
Make good on your promises.
Is there any way we could get one of the Blues to decide for you?
Ooh, okay. One of the St. Louis Blues players has to decide what I get if they win the Stanley Cup.
Or one of the St. Louis Blues players will tattoo you.
Oh, that too. Oh, okay. We have to. I feel like we'd have to talk to the Blues organization,
or we get like Benny to come hold your hand while you get the tattoo.
Like I would. No. I would trust Benner to give me a tattoo. Do you know why? Does he look nervous?
No.
He's got the steadiest hands in the universe. All right.
I would take steady hands or just like quick hands.
I feel he's got both. I feel like that guy has both. I would allow Benner to give me a tattoo if they won the Stanley Cup of his choosing.
Yeah. Maybe we should put it to the test. I said a child could draw it from memory. Well, you'll have your 3-year-old son tattoo you.
Oh, great. Oh, that's gonna go over really well. So here's,
or at least draw it. That's actually a funny idea.
That's
adorable.
He should draw it and then Benner gives it to me.
Or
yeah. Takes that design.
Let's be real. We're gonna get the tattoo at Trader Bob's because there's no other tattoo shop in the universe.
Yeah, we'll do it at Trader Bob's, obviously, right here,
right down the street,
right here. Okay,
neighbors.
So here's the prompt: St. Louis Blues. If this video gets over 100,000 views, if you comment, and I will get the STL this logo on my arm immediately. If you win the Stanley Cup this year, my son will draw a St. Louis Blues logo, the new logo, like the new primary logo. He will draw it the best, and Benner has to give me that tattoo at Trader Bob's.
I think that last part is a bit of an ask, but we should see if he'll come wipe your tears.
It's great.
There we go.
All right,
he'll come catch those
Jordan.
tears.
Win us a cup, buddy.
Heck yeah.
And also
because me saying that's going to help them win the cup.
Also, you better spend this season learning how to use a tattoo gun.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, would you say that hockey's a momentum game?
I have become a person that doesn't believe in momentum as much anymore in sports.
Okay.
Oh man, like momentum over a season or momentum within a game, like how soccer is, like where you can kind of tell, like if a team's about to score over a period of several
momentum
minutes.
in a game matters a little bit
because like even when the Blues lost that horrible game,
yes.
or at least when they
I don't want to talk about it.
like
We don't have to talk about it.
you could tell that something was going to happen.
Listen,
we were just hoping it didn't.
We had the
at any
worst.
rate-
We had the worst season basically in the history of the NHL, 6-on-5. When we're down a man, we have let more goals in at the end of the season than any other franchise, pretty much in history. We don't have to talk about it.
The point I want to make.
New logo's going to fix that, though.
New logo's
No,
gonna fix it.
point I
We're
wanna
gonna
make
be
is-
so good with the man down
Point
at the
I
very
wanna
end of the
make-
game, up by a goal.
Point I want to make is honestly though, like
With the goalie
this
pulled.
is like we had so much potential this year. We're on a good track record to like capture that potential, and like
Yeah.
releasing this new logo, this new merch is gonna get people pumped and hyped as it should, and like the energy in that space, the vibes are gonna be immaculate, and I think that's gonna help.
More than that, like having a full season of Snuggie and Dvorsky, like Dalibor, is gonna be so nice. Like a full season of both of those guys. Wow. We're gonna be okay.
Nice.
We need to work on that D. Because it was announced that Krug was retiring from hockey. Is no longer. I don't think he's announced retirement, but like his injury is that bad where he can't play anymore, and we're obviously going a different direction. But yeah, we should bolster our D a little bit,
Bolster
and if we
that
can
D.
do that, I think we have a real shot.
What he's saying is, win the Stanley Cup, Dave will get new logo on his D.
My
Derriere. Is derriere.
latimus connected to my upper dorsimus. Overarching, as always, is brought to you by First Bank. Bradley, St. Louis's most bank. Not only are they the first bank, they're St. Louis's largest local bank, actually. Specifically, we're sponsored by John Charlton. Thank you, Colin. A lender with the First Bank mortgage team. If you or a loved one has ever been affected by house and need to talk to a professional about money for a house, John Charlton will be your house money man. John is even my personal house money man. That's right. And I trust him with all of my house money needs. Thank you, John Charlton. Thank you, First Bank Mortgage, for sponsoring the show.
Do you think I could do like a sign flip thing with this? Like a.
Jesus. Oh, God.
Speaking of the Blues, Play STL bets on busking by sending St. Louis musicians to the streets.
Oh, wait. We forgot about the Blues Reds. We can talk about that later.
Yeah. Another at the time of recording, this is a story from St. Louis Public Radio and Jeremy Goodwin. But, like, this is, like, cool and, like, good things and just, like, I think, like, shows the power of investing in art and, like, how low cost for high impact investing in art can have.
So what is this?
There is this
Yeah, go
nonprofit,
for
a trio of nonprofit organizations behind this initiative called Play STL. Basically, what they're doing is they are contracting and paying musicians to go busk on various street corners throughout the city.
Isn't this great?
Now through September.
I love this.
And they're not like making a schedule, telling you where it's going to be. They're just like, we want street musicians in our town because we think that's the vibe, and I agree.
How do we get in on this?
And I mean, I don't know. Talk to them.
Who are the three nonprofits, Bradley Ruff?
Kreisberg Arts Foundation.
I scanned
RAC,
Blues Museum,
the Regional Arts Commission.
Regional Arts Commission. That's on
the
guess.
CAF is involved.
That was guesses.
Yeah.
CAF, RAC, and Blues Museum. That's what I'm going to guess.
That's mine.
But if you go to KranzbergArtsFoundation.org/PlaySTL, there is a form you can fill out
So it's
as a
Kransberg's
musician
first.
or a combo
Okay.
to
So it's
Yeah.
it's a Kransberg outfit.
Got
Yeah,
it. Okay,
yeah.
Kransberg's. Used to rent from them.
Interco Charitable Trust, Rio Vista, and the Kransberg Arts Foundation.
Okay.
Well, I got one right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they're paying solo acts. Each set is a 2-hour set, and they're like aiming for like two 2-hour sets in a day. But solo artist gets $200 for each set. A duo splits $300 a set, and a trio splits $500 a set.
That's really not bad.
But yeah, they're like
That isn't bad.
yeah. So like
And especially since they're also busking, so they
they'll get
would they
tips
get
and
would they
stuff,
get
yeah.
to keep their
yeah,
tips?
Yeah,
Interesting.
100%.
Like in a way, I feel like the haters will be like, oh, like the city has to go pay musicians to be out on the street. That busking is a dying art form
Sure.
It is.
because we don't make our cities walkable.
Yeah.
You're not going to busk on Telegraph.
Yeah.
You're not going to busk on Manchester.
You're busking on Highway K. in
Right.
Fallon,
Like, you're going to
Missouri.
busk
Where there's people
where
out.
there's people out. And, like, that is almost exclusively around stadiums during sports times in our city.
Yeah.
But increasingly more so, you know, I go downtown every week, and, like, there's foot traffic during the day.
Yeah.
For sure. Like,
Downtown foot traffic has increased
this
over the past
is
few
and
years.
it's
a lot.
because of investments like this
Yeah.
in other ways.
Yeah.
But like people busking is an eyes on the street thing. We
Yeah.
want to increase safety on our streets, eyes on the street. That's like it's a, you know, for the casual listener, like that's a term that city planners and public safety people use to like say like it's not cops. That's not
Yeah.
what we're talking about. We're talking about literal just other people being there.
Yeah. Is a deterrent. to
Is a
crime.
deterrent, yeah. And that could be, you know, residential butting right up against, you know, like in the alley for Greenfinch, like when we first moved in there, like walking out into that alley felt unsafe. They built those condos with the windows right on the alley.
Yeah.
Feels a lot more safe in that alley now.
Yeah.
Like busking is something that adds to that. If someone's playing music on a street corner, maybe it's not so bad. This is in my opinion, not just because I'm a musician and not just because this is direct action to musicians, which
Yeah.
is fantastic. It is an extremely smart way to increase the perception of safety,
Yeah.
which is just as big of a problem as actual safety in St.
Correct.
Louis.
And
was
if
talking
you,
about marketing
if
earlier.
you increase the perception of safety, you will get more people out there. You will get more eyes on the street, which will increase safety.
And this story, like I hope nobody hears about this program
Yeah.
because
And they just say, "Man, there's like all
there's all
buskers
these
out
street
there."
musicians out because that's what's going to happen.
And that's the goal, you
Right.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. Go. Whose idea was this?
Probably Kranz.
I don't know.
Does it come from the Kranzbergs
was it
or is it
Nancy?
from the city?
Uh,
you know,
I'm Nancy Kranzberg, and here's my idea to get more people downtown.
Nancy is connected to the residents. We were residents there for a long time. She had us on her podcast a couple of times. She always likes to, you know what's going on with the residents.
Nancy's great.
You know, one of the most down to earth, extremely wealthy people that one could ask for.
There's very few of them, but when they do pop up, you're like, you work.
Hey man, like I run a nonprofit for a living. Like I'm not anti-rich people. If you're nonprofits it's basically like choosing where to pay your taxes, kind of.
This is true.
You get a tax. You say, oh, the government says I'm not gonna charge you as much taxes if you give direct action to your community. And if you have a lot of money and you want to do that, flynorth.org is a great place to start. A cool mill. Solve all our problems, honestly.
It's
Like,
cool.
Cool mill. We're set
Right
for
now,
life.
it's really, really hot, so a cool mill will go further.
Yeah, you gotta just like put it in the fridge first.
It will go
and
further.
then bring it here. Send cash in an envelope.
I'll tell you right now, we'll spend it wisely.
We'll spend it for 20 years.
We will spend probably not that much.
Our current rate of like math real quick.
yeah. Yeah.
Our current production, production budget is
Annually?
for one full scale big musical.
Okay, so like a 3-week run production.
Yeah, is usually around 25 to 30 grand. So like
Now
which
you're
is-
getting
which
behind
is-
the curtains.
Yeah, which
on
is
what it takes
extremely
to-
low, right? For most product, we spend most of that money paying people.
And you do 2 of those a year.
Yeah. So it's that would literally be 20 years. 50K a year. Yeah. Cool mill. Put it in the fridge first. Bring it here. $1 million.
Yeah.
And you would create art for 20 years to come.
Yep.
Think about that.
Because there's inflation.
Well,
Because
inflation-
inflation doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Well,
so
but also,
for 13
We'll
to
worry about that
14
later.
13 to 14 years to come.
I mean, we'd fund it would also fund a what's that thing called when there's all the money there?
What?
An endowment.
An endowment. Yes,
Oh,
we would
yes.
be a well endowed organization.
Well, maybe we
we'd
put
be
it
able
into
to fit a blues tattoo right on our
We got to
endowment.
invest it in bonds or gold or whatever, or gold bond.
Gold bond, medicated foot powder.
Is that why it's called gold bond?
Applied directly to the forehead.
Because wait, hold on. When applied correctly, gold and bonds are the best investments.
Are they?
I'm surprised
Are
we
the
haven't got
safe-
shot
are the
with this
safest-
Nerf gun yet.
Are the safest investment? That's not just a good joke. That's just a good dad joke.
Have you been on Grift Talk recently?
What's grift? Oh,
Oh, he's definitely been on Grift Talk if he doesn't know what Grift Talk is.
I don't.
How many
have
downlines
TikTok
do you
anymore.
have?
Huh?
How many downlines do you have?
He's a
What's a
realtor.
downline?
He has many downlines.
Oh, downline.
Oh, I thought you said downline.
I thought you said downland. I was like, downland?
instead of downlines, let's talk about Green Line. Not
Yeah.
Green. Well, not the Green Line. Sorry,
We
sad.
can talk about green lines.
Greenway.
Oh,
Yeah,
still good.
Sorry.
Yeah.
To put a cap on
Yeah.
the end
Still
of that,
really good.
Invest in your local arts institutions, and this is exactly what these local arts institutions are doing. It's direct
Right.
action to musicians and benefiting our city.
This is like a really fun, positive show.
Fuck yeah.
We need to have more of these.
Radical optimism. We talk about it all the
Yeah.
time.
Bicycles.
Bicycles!
And
not just bikes, but also bikes.
yes. Like the at the time of recording
This is my bike impression.
Greenway connector path could make bumpy bike rides to Tower Grove safer. This is
I heard about this. Yeah.
STLPREN, Sarah Fenton.
Sarah who?
Sarah Fenton.
Phantom.
Different person.
Sarah Fensky no longer
I
works
don't
at
like
STLB.
that.
She was like one of the first
She was
journalists
there
I
for a while.
followed on Twitter in the early days of the pandemic because she was on that.
She sounds like an imposter.
No,
No, she sounds like a
her
really cool person.
Her brother is Danny Phantom.
I don't know. Danny Phantom? Is that just a
That's
joke?
funny. Sarah Fensky and her should get together. Well, how do you feel about Brian Lemons?
Byron Mellon?
No, Brian Lemons, another realtor in town.
Brian Lemons?
I've sent you many pictures of this.
My brother's Brian Lemon.
This is Brian Lemons. I think his name is Brian.
There's a realtor named Brian Lemons?
Yeah, he's selling a house in my neighborhood, and I sent you a picture twice.
Did you? I don't remember this.
David doesn't respond to my text messages.
I do too. Hold
Anyway.
on. There's somebody out there with another name.
Lemons.
Like,
More,
first
you
of all,
you only have one lemon. This guy has multiple lemons.
That's an imposter. Like lemons is not. It's not lemon. It's I am. Like that's a. It's not real. That's not real.
Well,
Lemons is not a real thing. Lemon,
Well-
singular, real thing.
get at him.
Let's talk about the Brickline Greenway, which we have before.
I'm very excited.
Like-
Great Rivers Greenway
Here's the
is
thing.
such a good group of
It's so
people.
because they keep making cool things that people like and people use.
I wish it was
So, like,
faster.
Well, no cars though. What if I'm gonna the bikes? If they make the lane, it'll be less room to drive and park, and I'll crash.
Yeah, two-wheelers bad, four-wheelers good.
I was literally to segue back to the green line for a moment. I was talking to someone
no,
about
no.
this.
We're not segues are not
well-
allowed on the green line.
We were talking about like the streetcar and woes whatever. But there, I was like talking about we go there, and he's like, well, he's like, yeah, well, that's interesting, that's good. But like Jefferson's a major thoroughfare. If there's a train going down it, like, isn't that gonna make less room for cars? I'm like, there will be less cars. But that's the way our brains are poisoned. Like, they weren't like antagonistic against the idea. They were just like engaging
sure.
with it. But that's how our brains have been poisoned to be car centric first. Is like we're thinking that way naturally without thinking.
And again, like if you think that like getting rid of street parking on Jefferson, and this is probably like getting back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
Also probably true for this project. Like probably, don't freak out. They're probably going to have to get rid of some street parking for this project, I'm sure.
Sure.
Because like making a
They are
protected
here.
bike lane just fundamentally takes up more space. But like take Jefferson as an example,
Yeah.
and parts of Grand, especially past the Grove, are similar to this. Not the Grove, Tower Grove, my bad. Like it's a 3-lane road on either side. And I'm talking about Jefferson, but like 3-lane road on either side where people are allowed to park in that outer lane. If one person parks in those outer lanes, you can't use the lane for an entire block, which means you got to merge. And if it's busy, that slows down traffic. Crazy idea. Sometimes having no street parking and less lanes of traffic, and by no street parking, I don't mean no parking.
Yeah.
I mean no parking directly in front of the door of the business you want to go to. Sometimes makes traffic for cars better,
and makes foot traffic for those businesses
safer, and better.
Yeah.
You would think that it would be the opposite. I have been yelled at by multiple business owners on Main Street in St. Charles talking about how they get so upset when the street shuts down like completely to car
for
traffic.
like Christmas traditions or whatever.
They get so upset. They're like, oh, but there's not going to be, and yet their sales are up.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Their sales are up.
Downtown St. Charles, you mean one of the most walkable places in the region?
Literally, it has to be the most walkable place in all of
I think
St.
it was.
Louis.
Was it on? It wasn't on a 31425 because it was in St. Charles when we talked about St. Louis pedestrian.
But the thing
areas,
is,
it would be.
At one point, they did shut down the north side of St.
I
Charles.
was going to say they tried for a while, right?
And business owners were mad because their numbers were going down, It's like, no. Blocking off that street wasn't the issue. It was the businesses that were there that were breaking all sorts of laws. And nobody wanted to go to those places because the businesses and business owners sucked. Like, that was the thing.
But David, where else am I supposed to go when I'm 17 and want to drink?
Probably your friend's mom's house who's divorced, because she'll probably.
We'd rather you do it at home.
But
But she lives in Webster Groves and I have to drive there.
well, then she's got the good stuff.
Bro, then I'm going to crash my car.
No, because you're not driving.
That's
'cause
the
you're
place to do it.
crashing
Webster
there.
police are great.
Because I'm sleeping there.
Yes.
That's
the point.
I'm not crashing my car because I'm crashing there, like into her house.
Yeah.
Probably.
No. But
No.
so the Brickline Greenway, if you don't know,
Now you know.
is this idea? Well, you're about to know because I'm going to explain it to you. Is this like bike walk path and like overall improvements going all the way from like Arch Grounds straight to Forest Park, and then also a line going up from that line on like Spring and North Grand up to Fairgrounds Park.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think-
a couple little offshoots.
I
Here
think
and there.
their explicit goal is to connect the Arch to Forest Park,
Yes.
and Tower Grove Park to Fairgrounds.
Well, they're
Park.
doing that. Like,
Yeah.
you see
Yeah,
the construction's
yeah.
going on right now on Tower Grove Ave.
and
But
on
so-
Market Street
yeah.
too for
And
the
on
other
Market
way.
Street.
And
Yeah.
so a little bit of
It's
specificity.
beautiful to see it in action, isn't it?
A little
you
bit of
love looking at it. You drive by, you're going, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's
And that's the
actually
thing, like,
happening.
We've been talking about this for years,
Like
and
decade.
it's happening, and it's like, but it is like good things are happening. Specifically, this story that came out recently is about the Tower Grove Connector Project, which is technically a separate organization, a partner organization, running the line down Tower Grove Ave from that central east-west corridor down to Tower Grove Park. And so the story is just like work has started on it. And there's, grants and there's things happening and there's phases. But they're just like, they've got,
We can put up some images.
yeah, but there's like, go to the website, towergroveconnector.com. They've got cycle pathway, 2 ways right next to each other, separated from the road. And they've got like, big things like, specifically this highlights like the intersection at Tower Grove and Van Deventer, which is, which is rough one because you're like coming up out of that dip. Over
I haven't
that
seen a
overpass.
better image. This is
and-
a way better image from Greater St. Louis.
Yeah. And so, but just like the designer was like, yes, let's like make these things good, make these things useful, and we're happy that it's happening. There's a lot of things that aren't happening that we want to happen, or that have slowed down or stalled that we want to happen.
This is happening for real.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
and it has been. A
if
process.
you've been downtown recently, like, and by downtown I mean like extreme downtown west,
yeah,
the Brickline Greenway running west out of the soccer stadium, like on Market Street, for about a year and a half has like, or actually since they built the soccer stadium, has just like abruptly ended.
right.
They are now finally actually doing the construction and extending that all the way to Compton.
I
I don't know how they're planning on getting from Compton to the rest of it.
There's a little jog. On
Does
the
it go
map.
up like to the Spring Mall? Like, where are you supposed to like ride through Slough?
No,
the big
no, it
pedestrian
goes.
mall?
It jogs south.
Are they going to redo the Compton Bridge?
Bro, I don't know.
Because that intersection that it hits right now is wackadoodle. Like, it's
It is wacky.
the Compton Market 64 thing by Chaffetz. Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know how
it's,
you're supposed to ride a bike through there.
It's supposed to jog down. like it is going to go over 40 on Compton. So it's got like Market Street to Compton, go over 40 on Compton, but then jog.
Oh, then it's going to go down Spring down to the basement over there, and then up over the new pedestrian bridge.
Yes,
That's right, and then up to and that's Spring, because the pedestrian bridge is at Spring, the one that goes through the highway, through the two, by the armory.
Yeah.
Formerly
Yes.
the building formerly known as the Armory.
Yeah.
Well, it was still called the Armory.
Well,
You know, they
by
just
the parking lot.
yeah.
Parking lot's part of the great American tradition.
Unfortunately,
You go.
It is unfortunate.
Who among us hasn't like sat in a hellscape of a TJ Maxx parking lot and made out with somebody?
This is true.
Great American tradition.
My
Smoking a
favorite parking lot-
ciggy in a hellscape of a Whole Foods. No, Whole Foods is too good.
Yeah, I did
Marshall's giant parking lot.
My favorite parking lot out in St. Charles County to go to was off of like intersection of Highway K and Feisey. You know, the Target and the Kohl's. You know what I'm talking about. You knows what I'm talking about. Gigantic parking lot. No one no one even knows.
You could
that.
do all sorts of drugs.
Yeah. For sure.
Most of the times.
Yeah.
Oakwood Plaza, Hollywood, Florida.
It's a good one.
That was my parking lot.
yeah.
That's where all the kids would hang out.
Anyways, congratulations to the 2025-2026 Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues. We'll see
St.
you
Louis
next-
parking lot.
We'll see you next time on Overarching.
This was Overarching. Overarching is recorded in Fly North Theatricals. Overarching is recorded at Fly North Theatricals, technically in too. Here in sunny South City, St. Logie McGurgy. Our producers, Unia Gilbert. Logo designed by JP Burks, a.k.a. Scrub. Follow us on social media at Overarching ST Lewis. And if you're not watching this on YouTube, you should. And if you are, redesign that subscribe button to match the old logo, and then complain how the old logo was always better, even though this is the old logo, and also then redesign that like button as well. I'm Colin.
I'm David.
I'm Bradley.
'Twas Overarching.
Honk, honk, honk. Let's go Blues.
Gloria.
Remember to vote for the Blues and don't rank Cuomo.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay,
Before we started rolling, we had a very funny bit, which we should have just been rolling, where we said, "What are the Blues?" And I said, "The opposite, or the enemies of the Reds, or the rivals of the Reds." Like, oh, that's funny. And then we came up with the concept that the Reds of Cincinnati should play the Blues of St. Louis.
So we're going to hybrid baseball and hockey. And so it's played on the dimensions of a baseball diamond. But the infield, the dirt, and your base paths are ice, and you wear skates. So it's the Blues, St. Louis Blues, NHL franchise versus the Cincinnati Reds, MLB franchise. And I'd say kind of like similar programs, right? Like kind of similar programs in their respective.
Cincinnati.
What?
Don't compare us to Cincinnati.
I kind of like Cincinnati.
Don't ask me about what I like about Cincinnati.
Any whoosies. So
Go Xavier.
The batter.
Xavier?
Has Xavier? What?
Is Xavier in Cincinnati?
No.
You don't want me to spell it out, do you? What's about 30 minutes outside of
roller
Cincinnati?
coasters. I knew what you were talking about.
There, you're fine.
Where's
Anyway.
Xavier?
Where's
what the
Xavier?
what
Xavier's
college
in
is
like
in Cincinnati?
Philly or something.
Oh, well.
I need to. It's out east. Either way. Where was I? St. Louis Blues hockey.
Yeah.
Versus Cincinnati Reds baseball.
Yeah.
Is played.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
No, it's not. Xavier's not in
knew it.
Cincinnati,
Colin's
Ohio.
a geography
Are you
boy.
serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I swear to God, Xavier was in like Philly or something.
Cincinnati,
I am sorry to all of the sports fans out there that I have let down. I thought I knew all sports, and apparently I don't.
God.
That hurts my brain.
I've never been right about sports.
That hurts my
when
brain.
talking to David.
Am I okay?
Well, also, it's not
Did I have an
necessarily just
aneurysm?
sports. It's also education.
Did I have an aneurysm? I knew
You're in a coma
Xavier
right
was in
now.
Cincinnati, but I didn't. You know,
You're in a coma
Wake
right now.
up, David. Wake
imagine
up.
getting a hit, skating
Wake up,
around,
David. Wake
skating
up.
around the infield that's
Please,
ice.
Your family needs you.
Right? And
Wake
then
up.
but the goal
We need
is
you to make content to feed
whenever
your boy.
you're at the plate, you get a hit, right?
Come back to
You
bed,
have
David.
everybody in the field has a stick. Everybody in the field has a stick, but
stick.
if you're in the outfield, you're just on your
Stick
cleats,
with us,
right?
David.
If
Stick
you're in
with
the
us.
infield, you're on skates. But you hit the ball,
I think
and
it's
you
time
have
to
to
pull
make
the
it around
plug.
the entirety of the infield and
It's
go
been
home
too long.
before the puck or the ball, before the baseball or puck,
think you
haven't
can-
decided, comes back to the net.
Do you think you
that's
can
at
hear
home
us?
plate? That's the game. I'm really excited about that. What's happening?
We pulled the plug.
What's happening? What'd you do?
You're dead now.
No. I feel like that was good. I feel like that's a real sport. It's like basketball, but
It's a real sport if you dream it, which you can't do now
hockey base.
because you've passed away.
Baki? Base hockey? Would it be base hockey?
This
Basky?
this was over orange.
I don't know why you guys are being mean to me. I'm just trying to have a good time with hockey and baseball here. Blues versus Reds.
It sounds dangerous.
That's why it's fun.
Just imagine sliding into second, skates first.
Death immediately.
You can't slide into second because there is no you have
Do
to
you
go
get
all the
extra
way
bonus
home.
points for drawing blood?
You have to go all the way home. What is it called? Blade ball.
Blade ball.
Blade ball.
You know, we're already
Unia.
we're already descending quickly into Idiocracy. That sounds like a sport from Idiocracy. Blade ball, brought to you by Carl's Jr.
That's really good though.
It sure is.
Blade ball.
Hold on.
We got to do this. We have to make
No,
this
we
happen
don't.
now. Yes, we do.
Tune into the Patreon to watch us play Bladeball
If the-
against the other podcasts in St.
If the
Louis.
Blues or the Cardinals win the Stanley Cup or the World Series, we have to make Blade ball happen. Or the Reds, actually. That's what it is.
There you go. Get Benny to do that instead of tattoo you.
No. Binner's still tattooing me if he wins the Stanley Cup. That's a thing.
My friends, my
Hello.
colleagues,
Countryman.
my boys, I don't know who either of you are, actually. Who are you? Get out of my office.
We will when you read the credits.
Yeah. It's your job to read the credits.
Oh, God. Who are you? Why are you here? You stink.
I showered.
With what? Piss?
Probably. Everybody pees in the shower.
I'm jumping off this bit.